Hey there, Dan at danliberto.com, where we are improving influence for small business owners and families so they can reach their greatest potential. And today I want to talk to small business owners. What do you think is the main ingredient for a successful business? Well, I'm going to share with you what I think the main ingredient is, the main differentiator to a successful business. And here's the cool thing. The cool thing is it's something that we can all do. And so I got to start off kind of on a depressing, but bear with me for a second. I'm going to give you the statistics of small business because they're a reality, and we need to embrace that if we're going to start a business or if we're going to run a business. And that is 70% of small businesses fail in the first 10 years. Now, again, that's depressing, but if we compare that to another large institution, and that is the institution of marriage, we see that 50% of marriages end in divorce. Again, very depressing, but I will contest that there are a lot of commonalities between the two. The first one is that there's a disruption of family. So all the things that you had planned when you started that marriage or when you started that business, all that kind of just crumbles. It changes. There's chaos. Your future is thrown into chaos because your plans for that marriage and that small business were part of your future. And so, the plans, the certainty you had, all that changes. The second thing is budgets. It disrupts finances. So maybe prior to that you had multiple incomes. Well, once you go to divorce or your small business fails, a source of income now falls away. And so you separated your budgets, but you still have the same creditors coming in. And so it disrupts your finances, your budgets shrink. Another thing is it disrupts your life. The dreams that you had, the expectations, all that falls apart, and it's very difficult to plan, to have new dreams, to set up new plans in this environment, because coming off a marriage or a failed business, you kind of feel like a failure. So it's really difficult to plan new things. Now, I will contest that there's also commonalities in what makes them both successful. And the key, the clue, is in the marriage vow, till death do us part. So what that says, when you make that marriage vow, what you're basically saying to your spouse is, till death do us part. From this point forward, you are going to be the only legitimate source of intimate love for me. And in your business, it's exactly the same thing. Because that commitment that you give to your business, it basically, first and foremost, it says, this is my purpose. This is not my passion. Not my pastime. This is my purpose, which means it aligns with everything I want to do. It's taking me where I want to go. All the things I want out of life, my business is going to provide those things. It's not just a pastime like you got a brother-in-law that says, hey, we can make some extra money doing this, right? Because without purpose, it's going to be very hard for you to decide. And what I mean by decide, the word decide actually means to cut off, which means you just kind of take all other options off the plate. So when you get married, like I said, your spouse is the only legitimate source for intimate love. Everyone else is just cut off. Same thing with your business. All other things, you're going to focus on that business. And by the way, let me make a note here just real quick. A lot of small businesses are part-time. And so just because they're part-time doesn't mean you can't still have the commitment and the focus. Because, in fact, more so you need that commitment and focus, because when you get off a long day of work, and maybe it was a very challenging day of your day to work, your daily work life, and then you come home and you've got to do something in your small business, you're going to have that commitment. That's going to have to well up inside you that this has got to be done. I liken it to when I was in college. I took some evening courses one year, and that was a very challenging thing for me because I worked all day long, 8-10 hours during the day. I didn't really enjoy what I was doing, so it was every day was a challenge. Every day just zapped energy out of me. So I'd come home and eat, and every night for that class, every night I had the same question: do I really need to go to this class, or can I just catch up next week? Well, in your small business owners, you know as well as I do, you can't play catch up. You need to have that focus. You need to have that focus that this is actually what I'm doing. And It needs, again, the business is taking you it's taking you where you want to go in life. So focus and commitment is so important to you executing what you need to do on a daily basis. And here's the importance. If you don't execute that commitment and if you don't relive and make that same decision each and every day, the lack of commitment basically is going to starve your dream, because you're not going to be feeding it. It's going to completely and totally starve your dream, and it's going to leave you like a hamster on a wheel. You know the saying that you do the thing that you love and you'll never work a day in your life? Well, that's not totally true, because work is actually a good thing, and work is fulfilling, and it fulfills us. But you can work. I mean, anything you do in life is going to be challenging. Even things that you enjoy doing are going to be challenging. You know, play basketball. I love playing basketball. Every time I get on the court, it's challenging. It's challenging for me because my body doesn't do what it used to do. It's challenging for other people because they got to play against me and I have to play against them. So there's challenges even with things you enjoy doing. And so if you don't have that purpose lined in and that commitment, then it's just going to make those challenges that much more difficult. And so you get on that hamster wheel and you have lack of interest, your purpose isn't there, your commitment's not there. It's just a matter of time before your dream just fades away, diminishes, and it's no longer there, and it walks out the door with your hope. Now, what do we need to do? What we need to do to maintain that commitment and those decisions is we need to go all in. There's a discussion or there's the conversation about work-life balance, right? Work-life balance is really a myth, because if we take that technically, what that means is everything is in balance, which means we're constantly multitasking, which multitasking, by the way, is impossible to do. Your brain doesn't multitask. If you're working on 3 things, you're probably giving less than 30% attention to each one of them. You're less effective. You're less efficient. Multitasking isn't what we need to do. What we need to do is we need to go all in. We need to look at it like season. When you're starting a business, you need to have a conversation with your family that says, I'm building a foundation, and this is the most important part of the building. If you're building a house, you're not gonna, the guy's pouring concrete while the framers are, get out of my way. Can you move your foot? I need to nail this here. They're building the framing, and you got your air conditioning guys running their things, and while the framing's going up and the concrete's being poured, slabs being poured, and of course don't forget about your electrician. He's sitting there, grumbling because everybody in his way. That's not the way things happen. They happen in phases. They happen in seasons. And the most important one is the foundation. So you need to have that conversation with your family. Hey, I'm going to be away for a while because I'm building a strong foundation. I'm building a strong foundation for our future. So you got to go all in on that business. That's the important thing. You have to have a season to run. You have to have the end in mind. And when you do that, you are going to profit yourself. Because it could be that you've got to actually grow a little bit before you can build your foundation. So you're going to profit. You're going to profit yourself. You're going to grow yourself. You're going to profit your business. You're going to profit your customers because you've built a strong foundation. You've built a strong business. You're going to profit your employees, giving them a place to work that they enjoy, a culture that they enjoy working in. You're going to profit your family because you enjoy what you're doing, and you're going to profit your community because you've got a strong business there in the community that is providing a benefit. Now, what are some things you can do each and every day to help you keep and maintain this commitment and make those same decisions each and every day? Well, 3 things really. First thing is ask yourself hard questions. Each and every day, at the end of the day, I would ask yourself these 4 questions. Did I give my very best to my customers? Did I give my very best to my employees? Did I give my very best to my family? And did I give my very best to my brand? See, your business is your brand. It's a reflection of who you are. That's what your business is. So did you give your best to your brand? Did you protect your brand? And the second thing I would do is I would identify daily priorities, those big rocks that you got to get done each and every day, and make sure you execute on them. If you need help establishing a daily plan, personal message me. Drop me a note at dan@danliberto.com. I'd love to help you put that plan together so you can execute each and every day and get those priorities taken care of. The third thing and last thing I would do each and every day, or last thing I would do, is I would get an accountability partner. And I'm not talking about a friend, not a friend that you can just talk to about your business. I'm talking about an accountability partner that's going to hold you accountable to those hard questions that you need to ask yourself each and every day, and to those priorities that you need to execute on each and every day. Accountability partner that is going to challenge you to be better today than you were yesterday. A coach is even a good add to this equation. If you're interested in coaching, drop me a line and we can see if that's a fit. But those are the three things I would do each and every day. Ask yourself the hard questions, make sure you execute on your priorities, and then get you an accountability partner. With that said, if you commit, you will profit. It's the do that we can all do. That's what I will leave you with. I hope that was beneficial. I'd love to see your post, your comments. I'd like to get your take on this message. We can start a conversation. As always, like my page. I also appreciate that. Until the next time we talk, it's Dan at danliberto.com. Take care.